this is Michel Tompet and this is a new episode of Wojennik TV. Today I will be taking you to ancient Rome and I will be presenting you an unboxing of an expansion for one of my favorite games set in this era. This will be the unboxing of Votes and Virtue, an expansion for Donning the Purple, published by Tompet Games. Donning the Purple is, as I said a few moments ago, one of my favorite games set during the Roman dominance or the Roman era during the ancient times. This was a 1 to 3 players game, but now, thanks to this expansion, it will be possible to play it also in a group of 4 players. The expansion Votes and Virtue was published in 2020 and it was designed by Peter Schanke Olsen, as well as the main game. The game was launched on Kickstarter and it was successfully funded. The objective of the campaign was to acquire 110,000 Norwegian crowns, and at the end the game gathered more than 500,000. So this fact and also the fact that more than 1,000 backers decided to back this project is the best proof that Donning the Purple was a very successful game and that it attracted a high number of players who were interested also in investing in an expansion. This expansion not only introduces the 4th player, it also introduces new modules concerning the Senate, concerning a new character and new components. During this unboxing I will show you all those components, I will browse through them and we will be able to look together at how they could potentially change playing Donning the Purple. The game is, as I said, with the expansion for 1 to 4 players. The time of play remains unchanged, it will be somewhere around 75 to 90 minutes and the minimum age of the player is 14 or higher. Now let's take a look at the content of the box of Votes and Virtue. Here is the box of Votes and Virtue, the expansion for Donning the Purple. A fantastic box cover. I loved it from the start when I first saw this picture when the expansion was announced, with the emperor inside the Senate building with a general or an officer standing standing at the door with his legions just behind him. So this is a terrific box cover telling you instantly what the game is all about, and for people who played the base game it instantly makes think of this 4th additional character that this expansion will add to the game, because we will receive the general, so it will be possible to add him to the game. On the back side of the box, a short description telling us that we will indeed receive a new role called the General with a unique player mat and the possibility to play as a 4th player that starts the game as the General, and some additional elements such as the Senate phase, such as extra player mats for the heir with a unique action and lots of new cards. You can take also a look at them by looking at the back of the box. Then again also an information about the minimum age of the player, an information that we have the possibility to play it also solo or up to 4 players thanks to this box, because the base game, as you all know, was only for 3 players. And the time of play, which remains pretty unchanged, 70 to 90 minutes. Let's now take a look inside and let's browse through all those components. Firstly, we have a counter sheet with additional counters which will be used when playing our games. So we receive additional victory point tokens, both 1s and some 5s, additional coins, one additional counter which will be, as I suppose, used by the general, some weather tokens, some thumbs up tokens, or yes, thumbs up, and some additional counters which will be used by the 4th player. So as you can see, the 4th player will be brown with his estates, with his monuments and additional counters. Then we have the rule book, the rules governing playing with 4 players or adding over elements. As you can see, this is a rule book with the pretty same standard as it was the case of the base game, with the same font, with the same way that the rules are presented. So we have first of all an information about how to play with 4 players. We have the general rules, which tell you how to add those additional elements, how to become general. Then we have a new phase, which is extremely interesting. This is one of the things which, in my opinion, will be the most interesting. This is a new phase added to the game, the Senate phase, in which we will be trying to overcome our foes, to vote, to influence the outcome of those votes. Very intriguing indeed. We have also the description on how to use the Senate during solo play. So that's a nice information for all of you who enjoy donning the purple solo. It will be also possible to use this new phase while playing solo. We have this small addition concerning the Ermat weather tokens, which is an additional option added to the game, and also some new cards with a description about how to use them or how to resolve some effects which are associated to those cards. Finally, one last new module, Sacrifice to the Gods, and a description about how to use the base game with all the extra modules, so we have some changes concerning the structure of the turn. And finally, also a possibility to look at all the components which are inside of this expansion. We receive 2 additional dice, small ones, a 6-sided dice with Roman numbers on it, and 1 triangular or pyramidal 4-sided die with, as you can see, result ranging from 1 to 4. We receive some new wooden elements, which will be the discs of the pawns or other elements used by the 4th player, 2 big swords, which will be used, as I suppose, with the enemy leader, which will be one of the new cards. We have also some counters which will be used for voting, because here we have those thumbs up or thumbs down maybe, which will be used during the Senate phase in order to vote some interesting issues. We receive tons of new cards. Firstly, we have 2 player 8 cards, which will be describing the phases both during solo play and during the standard game. As you can see, this is an information about all the things that will be done during a turn. Also, the second one will tell you how to calculate points both during solo play and during standard play. The additional cards are forum cards. As you can see, some new ones are added with new options unlocked each time such a card is placed into the game. This is an interesting addition. Those are new cards, the god cards. We have Ceres, we have Mars, Mercury and Minerva. So 4 different Roman gods which will make their entrance to the world of Donning the Purple. We have some new hidden agendas, which, as I suppose, will be related to the new options found in this game. So, for instance, to the Senate. We have new plot cards, enabling you, for instance, to get additional grain by the Emperor or move votes. So some of those cards will be related to the new mechanics introduced by the expansion, and new event cards, including the enemy leader, who will be using this big blue sword shown earlier. We have a pirate attack, all is quiet, severe weather, some cards associated to the weather tokens, hordes of enemies, the plague, and dilemma, enemy army, the popular general. All of those cards with fantastic climatic artwork, as you can see, with some of them related also to the new elements which are included in the game. But this is not all. We receive also the small playing map for the Emperor's Heir with a new action possible to be used. we have the Senate board, which will be used to track votes, to adjust happiness. So some different options will be implemented with a solo side of this mat also. And finally we received the 4th player playing mat with his starting role. He will start as general. This is a 2-sided playing mat, as you can see, as well as it was in the base game, and the additional playing mat for the general with his unique actions related, as you can see, to his legions, because the general will rely on his army. This playing mat is double-sided, but as I believe it is pretty much the same on both sides. And that's it when it comes to the content of votes and virtue, the expansion for donning the purple. Now let's pass to a very brief conclusion. I'd like to share with you my initial feelings after opening this box. Donning the Purple is a very good game. I like it a lot. I reviewed it already on our channel and I rated it very high. The small thing that disturbed many people was the fact that this was a game which could be played only by 3 players. It could be played also by 2 players or solitaire, but if you had a gaming group of 4 players, Donning the Purple was a game which couldn't be taken into consideration. Now, thanks to this expansion, thanks to Votes and Virtue, it changes. This game will be suitable for place in a group of 4 players. And this is an extremely good information, because Donning the Purple is such an entertaining, such an interesting game that it deserves to be more played. Votes and Virtue is, as I said at the beginning of this video, not only the 4th player, because that would be a very small expansion, a very welcomed expansion, but it wouldn't change a lot. It wouldn't change a lot of things for players who already knew Donning the Purple. But here you have not only this element, you have tons of other things. You have this new extremely interesting player role, which is the general. Now, in the basic game, you still had this military aspect. You fought barbarians, you raised legions, but this military aspect wasn't the most important one. Here, thanks to the general, it will be more important than it used to be, but still politics will be the most important. Why? Well, because you have this extremely interesting new phase added to the game, the Senate phase, during which you will be voting important issues. Superb addition, extremely interesting, and at the same time, again, a mechanic which is extremely well linked to the theme of the initial design. The initial game was all about rivalry, it was all about a political struggle and about managing an empire. Adding new elements which further enhance your initial playing experience are things which will again increase the value of this title. You have also some smaller modules concerning, for instance, the new elements which will be used by the Emperor's Heir or the weather tokens. They will be also interesting aspects, and at the same time Peter Schanke Olsen thought also of players who like to play solitaire, so all those modules will be used also in solitaire play, and this is good. Thank you very much. Now I will be revisiting this expansion during a future review, so now I'll just browse through the modules and I can't wait to test them all. I love Donning the Purple and I believe that thanks to this expansion it will be even more interesting than it is now. So I will revisit this game during a future review. Up until then, I invite you to take a look at our other videos in English. We have some more unboxings and also many reviews. You can also take a look at our Instagram and Facebook accounts. And if you want to support our channel, you can take a look at our Patronite account. The link to it is in the description of this movie. Thank you a lot for watching this video and have a fantastic day. See you next time.